This is Professor Olasee Davis. Let me just do this quick part. School of Agriculture, Cooperative Extension Service here at the University of the Virgin Islands, speaking on hardships of Maroons in the Virgin Islands. And again, the reason that we're doing it like this is so that you have another example of the presentation types that you've been studying. That's the idea. So you're supposed to be looking at the content as well as the presentation types that you've been studying. Please continue.
Recently, if you go on the website and you put in Maroon Park in the Caribbean, St. Croix does make history. It's the only island in the Caribbean that has a Maroon Park. We do have Maroon community, for example, in Jamaica. They're back in the 1700s, where they fight the British and have a treaty. So in Jamaica have like two societies. You got the Maroon Society and you got the regular society. And so if you actually have a question, you ask me a question, who are the Maroon? Anyone ever tell you what is the Maroon?
The Maroons were basically the slaves that escaped their masters they escaped their masters and they hid in like ridges or caves and those type of things along the coastlines. And
That basically where it's more than that. And so in the article, the full article I wrote on the northeastern Maroon countries on this side of the island, I give all the different type of Maroons in there. So we are in the Caribbean, we're in the Caribbean and we are relocated. Very located. We look the south, east, north, west, or where? Where are we located?
where are we located?
Huh?
Are we in the west?
You are supposed to know that we're located. We are in the horn, because we are in the horn of the Caribbean regions. So we are in the Caribbean, we close to North America, close to Africa, and also close to Europe. We're in a strategic location. If you're talking about going back, why they just bought this island and transferred in 1970. So we're in a strategic location. A good example, recently in news, you heard the president talking about he want Greenland for the same purposes. A student that learn to read what happened around the world. In my class, you get impact quiz. You got to learn how to read and take notes and whatnot. So we in the Caribbean, in the horn of the Caribbean. Again, I will skip it because of time. And of course, these islands was founded on sugarcane, but before sugarcane, it was cotton. And sugarcane became a major crop, monocrop, where your ancestors cut. Now, I should have talked about Maroons. What is a Maroon? They have Maroon, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. So Maroon is an individual that run away. A slave that run away, call them Maroons. You never know on the park quiz, never play the park quiz. I like to give them park quiz. Park quiz is half of your grade in class. So Maroon escaped enslaved throughout the Caribbean region and also in North America. In South America, they call them bush Negroes. So because of the time, I know when time up, I will leave it, so I'm gonna jump into the presentation. The information is here right there. This came out of information from Denmark and elsewhere. This particular one, it transferred from West Africa, this part of the world, came to this part of the world. And this happened during the dangerous environment and Atlantic slave trade. how they were brutalized. This is 1709. This again, this is the void columns, and you see how they got the head cut off. That means when you are away as an enslaved person and they catch you, there's 19 code with top of the later, they will cut your head off and put your head around the islands to discourage other individuals from running away. I'm sorry I can't go in detail because of the time. This map goes back to the 1700. In this area here, it's the northwest, northeastern part of the island. And when you see this Maroon estate, it's in the eastern part, the estate, and they travel to Puerto Rico and travel over to Tortola or the part of the Caribbean. So this map is within 9 quarters. You see how they divide it? So you get, for example, Eastern A, Eastern B, you get Company, you get King, North Side A, North Side B, you get West End. So divided, so when that man came in, when I quite St. Clair in 1733, what the first thing they did, they put Center Line Road. And then from there, it was divided into a state, 150 acres to 200 acres. So that's how they divide all the 3 islands. So that's why this whole map is seen. This section here. You see this for destroyed 160 is for a wetland, and this is lime tree bay. You have a lime tree bay. So all here now is the industrial area of the island that was destroyed. And you see the 2 tons, so Maroon used to capture the ships and escape to Puerto Rico. So that's why we had a circle there. And this is the southwestern part. The island is the Bay area. This one is not part of the island. So it's a whole map. Maroon live in extremely difficult areas, cliff, in forest, and so forth.
I had one quick question. On the last map that you had, can you go back? Can you tell us where Ovenza sits or sat? Is that where that green area is?
Where?
Ovenza.
Lime tree, when he was mentioning lime tree,
Okay, that's
yes.
to the right.
Yes.
All the way over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have back in my office before that happened, you could see.
Sure.
But this is the largest mountain grove in the Virgin was destroyed. It's a wetland. And I wrote a lot about that. So when you have a lime tree bay, the best beach you can see Croix was on this side. Anybody else swim on this side? No. That would destroy. And you never think the reason why you don't swim there. You don't investigate. So in St. Croix, we are limited in going to the beach. For all of this side, it's totally gone because of the dredging going back half a century ago. It's some of the most beautiful beaches on this side of the island going right down. You will swim on that part of the island. The beach on this side I do also got up to about in this area. See, this is an entire coast because of one thing. That's a wonderful place.
The reason why I asked that is because I've heard that there's more oil coming up out of the ground now than was ever pumped in that place.
Yeah, because that's the pollution to map.
Yes.
This afternoon, I have a attorney from Louisiana and some folks doing the backside company, and they deal with the impact of the environment and people got sick. We will talk about that this afternoon with an attorney. Yes, there's oil that's spilled, pumped from the 80s, the pumping oil from the ground.
Right.
It's not natural. And St. Croix got the largest water, the largest Africa, 25%, 25 square miles. So the Africa St. Croix is larger than St. John. So all this area have water. I included this, so the oil that spilled went down to the water. And that's all the story is. There are some students, some students from the state, they come down, we have Maroon Ridge, And this land you see here now is protected. It's part of the park area. These two want to learn about the history about Maroon, so that's the ridge itself. We call Maroon Ball going back from the Danish by the first governor of St. Croix, named Frederick Mott. He called it Maroon Ball because in the northern part of the islands, going back from 1650, we got rid of the information and before that. And whenever slave, they run to this particular area, they got to the cave, and they got to the white caves of water. So we call it Maroon Ridge. So it's a sacred area, and this part is about the slave, all the history jump after these cliffs. I cannot go into detail because of the time. We have 12 pools plus one of the pools.
One quick question. On that last screen.
Only because I just want him to finish, because they're gonna leave. But you can ask everything that you wanna ask. Okay, I got you, and I don't wanna stop that.
I'm 7 minutes.
No.
7 seconds. Marienburg, where does that come from? Marienburg, what you got there?
Yeah,
What is that?
that's the original name.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna ask any more questions.
That's the original name, and to be called Maroon Ridge.
Okay.
Go on, should we
No.
play that? That took too much time, right?
Yeah.
We can skip it. This is a drone and it's showing the area.
Go ahead and play it. Go ahead. We have 9 minutes, technically. And just keep going. No. Play it. You should be able to just tap on it. Okay, never mind. Keep going. Just keep going.
What is there is a drone and it tell you given the watersheds, and we really see it's rough country of the particular area.
Then you need to open it up so they can. Well, that's cool. That's fine.
This is the eastern part of the island. You have Goat Hill, that particular area, in the 1820s. But 1820, the sugar industry in the eastern part of the island began to be abandoned. And so a lot of the Walloons, they live up here temporarily. So here's the Maroons too as well. This today is protected as again. A lot of this area that is protected with my effort and others people. And this right here, from all here now, is protected now, and now this become pretty popular in the tourist magazine. But because we took interest in protecting this particular area. So this is protected, and I have hiking trail in these areas, and some of the best snorkeling in the islands is along this particular area. This is a Christian style, so the Maroons come down, she talking about food, this will come down in the town, this guy himself, and get food in the top. So this is the Christian step. Anyone know what the Christian step is?
Is that where the foot?
Yes, you can see up there, up the side there, where you can just turn the street and go right up and right back out. This is where the market in Christian step. On the radio station last Wednesday, I told them I was going up, the market open 24 hours, 27. And we don't have the shopping centers, we have small store. So everything you want, you go to the market. Today, that don't happen. Market will don't open on Saturday or Wednesday. But people are always there, so that's how it works. It's different compared to how we are going up today. So the Maroon used to go, now just kind of briefly gave you from the Northwest, talking about the Maroons. So I briefly started going back from the 1650, but we go further back than that, because when the French acquired St. Croix in 1650, and they left here in 1669 and went to Haiti, the Maroon controlled the island for 64 years, before Denmark was ported back in 1733. That information, all the stuff there, is what I could be reading. Continue. Now, these are the laws. Denmark had one of the most brutal laws in the Danish West Indies, and the reason for that because the enslaved folk was running away from the plantation. So they thought by establishing laws, they would keep them on the plantation, but they told the opposite. More folks went away and became Maroons. Women and children. So these are some of the laws, for example. This 19 mentioned the main leader of the neighborhood have run away or running away to be pinched 3 times with the glowing iron and then hanged. Now these are laws where your great grandparents grew up with. Today we have the Women Coalition and other non-profit group. There was no such thing as a woman back in those days. They get raped, who you go to? You get nobody to go to. If you are a man and you get raped at the plantation, 150 times, who you go to? Because first of all, your property, your own. So they own you, they pay tax on you. So that's how your ancestors lived for so many years or decades. So these govern the people who live here in St. Croix over 20 years ago. And of course, if you run away, in the newspapers, you have them say, if I run away, they have my height, skin color, this plantation we run to, they came from, so they advertise to catch you. Today is someone, I didn't know until yesterday, in my computer, you inform somebody because of the jail red hair. I didn't know that. And of course, they will have that, they come on the radio, and they have to post a picture, like in a local newspaper or on the Facebook. In those days, they have the person in the local paper at a particular time. These some of the people that put around the catcher around in them. One going to tell you that. That's when you now this happened throughout the Caribbean, it happened in the States too as well. This was a normal thing, people grew up, this was a normal thing. And you see the reason why people run away and become Maroons. This is what happened, talking about here. I wrote an article came out last month talking about the church. The church was involved, they misused the Bible, and they was involved and have enslaving people as well. And that's what they said. But we don't know a runaway neighbor who remained away for 3 months is to have his foot cut off. This exactly happened there in the Davis Kahina and in the Caribbean and in So you can understand the reason why the folk became Maroons. This is St. John, and here it is right there, 1733, and there was a chapter, and it said, 3 of them were born and stayed on a different plantation on St. John. Other were the born people. One was born to death slowly, another was sawed in half. This is the law. And the third was impaled. The 2 Negro women had their hands and their head cut off after 5 had been tortured with hot pins. This is exactly what happened here. And when I see crime in the islands, with crime and come crime, people that do crime today, they don't understand the history. This is what the people went through, and this was the law. I will skip this one. This talk about a judge, court with sentence of Maroon slave, free blacks. This is the verdict where they broke him. His 2 hands over like this and his feet, and they pull him apart. And the so white guy face all makeup. And this is our history. I think you understand what it means by a Maroon. See, Frederick March is that came out with the information. These some of the stuff they got, for example, July 7, 1740, 7 Maroons have fleet from St. Croix seeking refuge in Puerto Rico. So all the documentation, people flew over from here and escaped and went to Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, in Louisiana, for example, in Louisiana and Puerto Rico, there are people over 300 years can trace the descendants from here to Puerto Rico. You heard about Marco School, Marco, the original folk, those slaveholders, they came from France. Or when you can see, you got it right there. Marco is and then they got a state welcome, 1793. Again, the person name, they explain it, and this is documentation. So they have the enslaved person and who they belong to. We skipping because of the time. The reason why they go to Puerto Rico is because within a year you get the freedom. Once you have that, the defeat. You get the freedom when you go to Puerto Rico. This is another, what about slave rights? There was none. So you being an enslaved person in the Caribbean, you have no rights. It's kind of hard to comprehend it. How you live in society and have no rights? But your ancestors, they live in society and have no rights. And this, and he talk about the Spanish tend to integrate the slave into society. They had a strong belief in the legal rights and spiritual personality of the slave. We translate. This is the Spanish, we talk about the church. It's in Puerto Rico. We're ready to go over to the Danish part. Here it is here. He was a doctor, he was living in Christ. And here it is here. A Negro slave has no right at all. A white person who has absolutely no connection with him can, without reason, beat him to death, and the slave does not dare resist him in the least way. I don't have more time, I'm going to detail, but I have to skip. You talk about the Maroons, you know. Who were the way, why they were
session.
The treaty in 1767 between Denmark and her, which basically means anyone who ran away from her and go to Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican government supposed to send them back, but it never happened. That's why you talk about the treaty right there between the Danish and so that's how Maroon there. Remember, they have different type of Maroon or what they want. This I want to make it play. Chico, what the hell?
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more weeping, don't you know? No more weeping. No more weeping over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own and go home to my Lord and be free.
I just give a brief, because I don't have time to go in detail on what you read, the information that you read. I pick on one person, this young man is being quiet, and a nutshell for what you read, and what I just spoke about. Give me a brief